for coming back again for another Pixie Talks review vlog. Pixie Talks, reviews and vlogs at Pixie Talks. So my last top 5 video listed off some of the best villains that fiction has to offer. But what about the heroes? The good guys, the ones we love to root for. And some of the most fun and most badass heroes in fictions are the ones that are so clever or just so awesome that just by virtue of being themselves, they always manage to come out on top. These are the characters that we love to watch beat out all the odds and wish that we could embody ourselves. These are my top 5 favorite heroes.
I'm Batman.
Batman is easily my favorite superhero of all time. He's dark, brooding, and conflicted, but unwavering in his dedication to justice. He's just a little less Boy Scout than his superpowered counterpart. What's really incredible about Batman, though, is his ability to beat out all the odds even when he's clearly at a disadvantage. I always liked how Batman rises to every challenge, not with superpowers, but with his intellect and sheer willpower. This is the man who has a contingency plan for the possibility of each and every member of the Justice League going rogue. His villains are all super colorful and, well, batty, but they gravitate to him and his world because he is a beacon of raw power achieved through the force of badassness. There isn't a superhero that I would be more shocked to see actually die, which is why the ending of The Dark Knight Rises would have been brilliant if they had actually had the guts to commit to it, but that's another topic.
When you marooned me on that godforsaken spit of land, you forgot one very important thing, mate. I'm Captain Jack Sparrow.
This line is what inspired this video. The idea that a character is so inherently awesome that they succeed against all odds just by virtue of being who they are is pretty darn cool to me. And Jack Sparrow embodies this idea. There isn't a single thing that this man can't find a way to overcome, either by his own clever planning or by sheer luck of the draw. What's fascinating about watching this particular character is that you never really know what he's up to or what side he's on, but you know that no matter what, he's always going to find some way of coming out on top. It's true that perhaps, strictly speaking, he isn't really a hero. In fact, he's probably the least heroic entry in this video. But as a protagonist, he's so fun that you don't care. He does very much need a straight man to co-star with him to balance out the insanity of his wild actions, however. But this character is some of the most fun you can have watching someone succeed against ludicrously ridiculous odds.
Lieutenant, you are looking at the only Starfleet cadet who ever beat the no-win scenario.
Then you never faced that situation. Faced death.
I don't believe in the no-win scenario.
Captain Kirk, the only one to ever beat the Kobayashi Maru by cheating. And that tells you pretty much everything you need to know about this character. This man has defied beings that many would call gods. He has tricked his way out of every no-win scenario he ever came across and can outthink machines and robots. And his reasons for doing so are always because of a quiet sense of just plain doing the right thing. He takes the death of crew members personally and will fight to the very end for what is right and good. In many ways, Kirk is quite possibly one of my favorite heroic figures in the history of television. He never second-guesses himself and never has to think twice about difficult actions. He simply doesn't believe in no-win scenarios, and that sort of a character is as intimidating as it is appealing. Which is why how he died in the end was such a slap in the face to fans, but let's not talk about that.
So let me make this abundantly clear. I do the job. And then I get paid.
Captain Mal is very clearly a rather Kirkian figure, and he takes a lot of cues from his sci-fi predecessor, albeit slightly less tight-laced. Malcolm is everything you could want in a leader, and embodies much of the same no-win scenario mentality that Kirk demonstrates. He's got a bit more of a chip on his shoulder, but his gruff exterior houses a heart firmly in the right place. He is fiercely loyal to his crew and believes in respect and fair dealings. The odds he finds himself pitted against Or nothing this man can't handle, and handle him he does in gloriously witty fashion. He never loses his lip and swagger, even in the thick of danger. He puts the lives and well-being of those on his crew before his own, even when he doesn't necessarily get along well with all of them. It's a simple fact that this man will do what needs doing without thinking twice, and he always manages to come out on top. And Marcus punches things. Okay, hear me out. Marcus from Digimon Data Squad may be a rather silly entry on this list, but there is something just so intrinsically awesome about a character who gives so few cares that he would attempt to stop a moving truck by punching it in the face. He may not be the brightest tool in the shed, but he is certainly the most passionate. He's protective of those he cares about and doesn't let anyone or anything get in his way. His answer to most problems does seem to be hitting things with his fists, and the really ludicrous part of this is that most of the time, this actually works. Heck, he isn't able to power up the energy required to digivolve his Agumon without punching something first. But he doesn't even think twice about rushing headlong into danger, and always manages to best all of the odds facing him. This makes him pretty awesome in my books. His fierce loyalty and desire to protect those around him, coupled with the sheer dumb luck that keeps him alive despite the ludicrousy of his actions, is perhaps the coolest thing in all of Digimon, and I don't care what anyone says. These are the characters that inspire us and make us want to be better ourselves. We look up to this sort of bravery and passion and never tire of movies depicting these sorts of people.
It's a line from a poem, a very old poem, isn't it? 20th century Earth. All I ask is a tall ship and a star to steer by.
And that was it for my top 5 heroes. What you may have noticed, however, is the distinct lack of any female characters. This was certainly not an oversight. My next top 5 video will be delving into my top 5 awesome leading ladies. So be sure to subscribe for more, and you can also add me on Facebook and Twitter. And I'll see you next week. Bye!